It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
And one of my favorite players in the league is Devontae Freeman. 29 rushing touchdowns the last 3 years. Knows how to put the ball in the end zone, can catch it out of the backfield, and plays with a passion that few players in the league can match.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And now the defense for Dallas.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and a majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce, fierce tackler.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. One
play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. First catch of the game for the rookie Sutton. It's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Freeman. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards gets him back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Elliott. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Bryant on the handoff. It's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he does natural light best.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-6 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
The point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. They go play action here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action now. Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Now a hand handoff. It's Freeman. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
first
naught
down
on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They go play action now. Ryan. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Get up! And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they would have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 2nd down, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. 2nd quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw. Prescott. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A second down throw for Prescott. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Ryan on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Ryan. Wide open receiver, complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Ryan now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at MetLife Stadium. The Giants hosting Tampa Bay in an NFC matchup. And it's the Giants who are out in front in the second quarter. The rookie, Saquon Barkley, has a touchdown run. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Fielded about a yard deep. He spins free, and now running right through it. And he gets him set up near midfield for the moment. But with that penalty marker down, I don't know if it's going to hold.
In the back. Return team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam there.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. On play action, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
12 yards there as they move the chains. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. This is Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott now. A hit as as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Freeman again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 33 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
So they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking.
And Freeman lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now here come the Cowboys. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal. And
that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Hey, 47. Oh, yeah. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
To the air again, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hey, let's go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Got it. 280. 25.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Left side completion to Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Ready. 280.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness,
Hey, let's go.
there's a premium for all of that now.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Black 25.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been
Still
a little
2nd down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Look, the first... down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
On 3rd and 2, Ryan. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. Runs over him, and he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Here we go. 480.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180. 186.
A first down carry by Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they were 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Hey, let's go.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On first down, Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On third down, Ryan. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. It's caught. Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. And the spike will come with 34 seconds to go. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Julio Jones, the lone receiver left. Again, Ryan. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That time, a 9-play drive, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. So with an even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So with an even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll give to Elliott. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
4 down, check, 4 down.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.